Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this episode today, I've got not so much of a palatable news for you for people that are outside Canada that wants to migrate into Canada in the year 2022, if that is your aspiration. The not so much good news is that we might not be having an express entry draw, FSW, Federal Skilled Workers, CEC Canadian Experience Class, and FST Federal Skilled Trade. We might not be having any draw for the next 6 months. Our provincial, we don't know, maybe all through 2022 we might not be having this draw. So that's the video that I have for you today. I'll be breaking it down and I'll be sharing some insightful information with you, some documents with you, so that you can better understand where this is coming from. So I'm going to stay tuned. As always, it's loaded. Okay viewers, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are in Canada and those that are aspiring to migrate into Canada. Is this your first time on this YouTube channel? Please do me the honor, hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And please endeavor to follow us on our social media handles, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, especially on Instagram. I might not post video every day, but every day I have something on my Instagram page, Canada Reality, so you might as well do well by following us on that page. Alright, so let me start by telling you that based on the Freedom of Information bill that is operational in Canada, the press have the right to seek for some information from government. If they go through the normal procedure, so that they can actually know. So one person named, the name actually didn't come to my head for now. He leaked out an information based on information they got from Canada Immigration, Canada Government, Immigration Department, on the backlog of people that wants to migrate into Canada. Don't forget, I did a video some few weeks ago telling you about the 1.8 million backlog. So an inquisition was made into the Department of Immigration to actually know what's obtainable, what's going on, because there are so many people that are complaining that they've submitted their application for PR, for study, for visit, for whatever, and they haven't gotten back. So it was so sad by the time the information leaked that, and I will be sharing it in this video so that you can better see for yourself, that the backlog, that Immigration Department Canada, they have a conversation with the with Canada government as a whole, telling them about the backlog and what their priority is. And based on the information that was leaked, the document, it was stated clearly as at September, November last year, that they are not giving cognizance to the backlog rather for the FSW, the skilled, federal skilled. The backlog stood at 20.6 months. So in order for them to actually treat file, it's going to take like 20.6 months. You can actually multiply that to see how many years you're looking at. So that information leaked, and as of January 19th, when the information became public for people to see, the backlog stood at 30 months plus. So that means that for those that have applied for permanent resident in the express entry through FSW, those that are outside FST and Canadian Experience Class, the backlog, the time lag for processing timeline now stood at 30 months plus before they can actually get to where your file is. That's going into like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not so much palatable. For those of you that do not know what FSW is, Federal Skilled Workers, that's express. Express entry is the primary way through which most people come from outside. Skilled immigrant come to Canada, and under express entry we have 3 different pathways. FSW, that's majorly for those that are outside Canada that wants to come into Canada. We have the CEC Canadian Experience Class, that's for those that studied in Canada, got their postgraduate work permit, and are ready to apply in Canada. And we have FST, that's Federal Skilled Trade, those that have trade knowledge that are outside Canada and wants to apply too. So that is just a quick background of that. So we can see obviously now, so still based on that document, the Immigration Department of Canada have decided to prioritize, the FSW, the Federal Skilled pathway. They do not want to prioritize it for the next 6 months of this year. That's what the information we got from the document, that they will not be prioritizing the skilled pathway. So that means that they want to give more cognizance to provincial nominee, and also they want to give cognizance to Afghan refugees, immigrants from Afghanistan that were recently late last year that were brought into Canada. So that's what they were facing for the first 6 months of this year. So the implication of that is that it's going to have an adverse effect on express entry, which they will not be prioritizing. So that connotes that those that are outside Canada that are probably thinking and hoping that, oh, last year went by, they didn't invite us, they didn't do any draw, probably in the first half of this year they will be doing something. Sorry to tell you that nothing will be done. And also by extension, the implication of this is that in the second half of this year, which is from July, which we don't know if they will be picking up the express entry and they will be starting it, they will be inviting people for to apply for it. They will be doing draws, which we don't know, going by the backlog they have. So I might want to say, based on the information that I'm getting from highly staked people, that we might not even be seeing any draw this year. So that implies that for those of you that are outside Canada, especially that wants to migrate into Canada this year, you might start looking at the alternatives. And I know it's not so much of a good news, but you might begin to start looking at the alternative, which I'll be doing a video on that very soon. And those that are in Canada, that have studied in Canada, that have gotten their postgraduate work permit, they have Canadian experience, that want to go through the CEC Canadian experience class, the backlog is like 7 months, and that's another not so much good news, because those people, they studied in Canada, they've built their life in Canada, and now they don't know what they are going to do next. So that is also not the palatable news. So I feel these news are not so much of a good news, but that's the indication, that's the feedback that we are getting from the from Canada Immigration and Canada government as a whole. All right, so still on this internal memo that was leaked out, it's now made public for people to see. The major news there is that express entry draws for FSW, CEC, FST will likely be paused for the first half of this year, 2022. I mean, also the information we also got from Canada Immigration is that the backlog for express entry that they have currently now is 76,000 applicants. So they have that backlog, 76,000, and they need to actually treat those files before they can actually metamorphose into start inviting people. So you can see that 76,000 all applicants already in the system, and they need to treat that first before they can actually move forward. And also another news also that we also got from this memo that was leaked is that express entry, the target for express entry this year, by the time it picks up in the second half of this year, as they claim it's going to be, is probably going to be decreased by 50%. So the focus is going to be 50%, because half of the year is gone already, they are not doing anything. So the second half of it, probably 50% is what they'll be concentrating on express entry, which is not so much of a good news likewise. All right, so going by extension, in as much as they said that they will be decreasing concentration to express entry by 50%, the likely adverse effect of this is that we'll probably, by the time they actually start this draw, the implication is that the draw, the CRS score, comprehensive rank score, would actually go up, because there are so many people in the pool with high scores, with high younger age, masters, and all of you work experience. Then the scores might be in the 500, if not in the 600. So for those of you that are in the pool with 400, your chances are minimal. Likewise, I've already told you that FSW, the processing time now for FSW now is like 36 months. I mean, as out of January is 36 months. As out of November it was I think it was 20.6 months, but now it's 36 months. That is approximately, that is 3 years. Imagine that back, the processing time. So if you submit if you submit today, before you can hear back from them, it's going to be in 3 years time for FSW. That is whooping. That is not so nice. And all this is no thanks to this COVID-19 that actually brought a pause to all this immigration pathway. So one thing I actually want to let you know is that the way forward in this is that since express entry, I mean, there's no hope in that line now. And they said their major focus now is going to be on provincial nominee and TR to PR pathway. That was a temporary policy that was created last year for people that are inside Canada specifically to become permanent residents. That's what they'll be focusing on. And likewise, the Afghanistan immigrants that came in, that were brought into the country last year because of the pandemonium in that country. Those are the 3 areas that they want to give cognizance to this for now. So the implication of this is that provincial nominee is a pathway people should start looking at. I mean, for those of you that are outside, I know it's so hard to get a job because most of them are job driven. You need to get a job in Canada, but that is a pathway that people should start looking at now. I mean, and also study is also another area too. We know that the timeline for study is also, the present time is also too long now. I mean, I know some people that have applied for January now and they've not even gotten any feedback, and class have resumed now. So all these have been affected, but the provincial nominee pathway is still something you can start looking at and start dusting your documents and going online to see which of these provincial nominee fits and suits you and for you to apply for. All right, viewers, I hope you actually understood the video that I brought for you, telling you about the not so much good news that we had based on the internal memo from the immigration department, and saying that for the first half of this year we might not be seeing FSW, FST or CEC draws owing to the backlog. Main priority would be now towards Afghan immigrants, how to settle them out for them to get their papers, the TR to PR pathway that was created last year, and likewise provincial nominee. Not to forget that study is also being granted to, if you get favor in the eyes of the visa officers, people are still coming in. So, and also there are also other pathways through, also like the agri pilot program, the rural and other immigration pathways. So those are ways that you can still actually look at. But for now, I'm so sorry. Those that are looking for express entry, those that called me, that messaged me telling me I've been in the pool for donkey of years, I haven't got anything. Now you have to start shifting your focus now, because it's not so much good news. And by extension, the implication of this is that the what's it called, the West evaluation of result that is supposed to last for 5 years. That one might still be nice, but it's going to lapse because nothing is being done. Now people might have to do evaluation again, because the timeline 3 years, it's so much huge of a time. And likewise too, it's going to have an adverse effect on IELTS, which lasts for 2 years. It expires after 2 years. So many people are in the pool now that they will just remain in the pool, and the IELTS score will expire and they have to go pay huge money to go and do another one again. I hope they can pass the way they did before. So these are not so much of a good news, but those are the news that we are, the feeders that we're getting from IRCC. Thank God we are able to get this information. If we hadn't gotten this information, people would have just been blindly staying in the pool and not looking at the alternatives. All right, guys, if you feel you have any question that you're not clear of, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I will try as much as possible to answer them. And likewise, please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're not subscribed, and also turn on the notifications so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And likewise, like I said, follow us on our social media handles, Instagram, especially Canada Reality, where we always drop, on a daily basis, there's something for you to actually, information for you to actually pick from there. All right, till I come back to you again on this YouTube channel, stay out of trouble and see you in Canada very soon.